What if I told you there's a creature made of plastic tubes, no motors, no electronics, and it walks, powered only by the wind? It looks like a skeleton come alive, crawling across beaches like some ancient fossil reborn. But it's not alive. Not in the way we know it. This is a Strand Beast, a wind-walking, kinetic sculpture created by a man who has spent 34 years trying to give life to art. But why? And how does it actually work? Intro, this is Derek, and what you're seeing isn't CGI. It's a real mechanical animal, built by Dutch artist and physicist Theo Jansen. At first glance, the Strand Beast seems like science fiction, or maybe even science fantasy. But it's made with tape, zip ties, and plastic tubing. Still, it somehow manages to walk. And not just walk, but survive storms, navigate sand, and maybe one day live completely on its own. Section 1. The origin of the Strand Beast. In 1990, Theo made a strange promise to himself: spend 1 year working with plastic tubes. That 1 year spiraled into a lifetime. What started as a quirky side project turned into an obsession. Build a new kind of life form, one that doesn't eat, breathe, or think, but one that moves and evolves. He called them Strand Beasts, Dutch for beach beasts. But these creatures didn't just happen. In fact, they began their life flat on their back, legs twitching uselessly in the wind. Imagine putting your heart into something and watching it collapse over and over again. That's where Theo started. Tape, glue, broken joints, frustration. Section 2. Cracking the genetic code of walking. To walk like an animal, a machine has to master the art of foot placement. One wrong angle, one misaligned tube, and the entire beast collapses. That's when Theo wrote a program, not to control the beast, but to evolve it. Using simulated natural selection, he let 1,500 foot designs compete, selecting only the best to move forward, just like nature. After months of simulation, 13 holy numbers emerged. These numbers are the genetic code of every Strand Beast's leg, proportions and angles so perfectly optimized that they give the illusion of natural movement. This is when engineering met evolution, and something otherworldly was born. Section 3. A living machine. But walking isn't enough. The beach is no friend to fragile machines. The wind is fierce. The sand is soft. The environment is hostile. So the beast had to adapt. And it did. Theo evolved the feet. Not sticks that dig in, but flat paddles that glide. He added joints with play, mimicking how real animals shift weight. And slowly, the beast started to move. Gracefully, like a living thing. Adam Savage from Mythbusters even built one. And after countless failures, finally got it to walk. The moment it moved, it was pure magic. Section 4. Facing the elements. But nature doesn't just challenge with terrain. It attacks. Storms tear across the Dutch coast. Sand buries anything left behind. Theo's creatures had to fight back. So they developed clever defenses, lifting off the ground when idle to avoid burial, evolving flight modes to catch the wind and float, and even banding together like herds, interlocking for strength during storms. Each obstacle forced the beast to change, to adapt, to survive. And like all great stories of survival, it came down to one thing: working together. But the story of the Strand Beast doesn't end with clever mechanics or breathtaking aesthetics. It continues because of Theo Jansen's refusal to give up on a wild dream. Think about this. For over 3 decades, this man has been working tirelessly to create something that doesn't need electricity, doesn't need motors, and isn't even alive, yet somehow feels alive. That's not engineering. That's poetry in motion. And maybe that's why these creatures captivate us so deeply. They're not just machines. They're reminders of what's possible when imagination runs free and unchained. They walk because one man believed they should. They dance across the sand because someone dared to challenge the line between biology and mechanics, nature and art, science and spirit. Now imagine this. Long after we're gone, long after our phones die and our cities crumble, these wind-driven skeletons still crawling along beaches, surviving, evolving, becoming a kind of new life form we left behind, powered not by electricity, but by wind and wonder. And perhaps that's the real message hidden in the bones of these beasts. Innovation isn't always about utility. Sometimes it's about beauty. Sometimes it's about dreaming so big that the world has no choice but to take notice. Closing and call to emotion. Theo Jansen once dreamed of giving life to a new species, not flesh and blood, but tubes and wind. Today, his Strand Beasts walk beaches freely, powered by nature, guided by numbers, shaped by evolution. He wants them to live long after he's gone, walking the shorelines of Earth like ancient creatures reborn. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't just art. Maybe it's a reminder that life isn't just about biology. It's about movement, resilience, and purpose. So next time you walk on a windy beach and you feel the gusts push against your body, imagine a creature beside you, legs ticking like clockwork, driven by nothing